Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 27th of March 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's morning session where we're going to have a look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then guys, let's quickly jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on here is the ASX200, so the Australian index. So you don't probably look at it very often, but very interesting still trading activity here. Looking at this index, you can see that it slid lower here. It managed to drop below its 6,200 level, and of course now it seems that it's traveling lower and currently balancing around this 200 EMA. So looking at this 4-hour chart, of course, you can see that the index is stuck here near this level right here near the 6,135 level, which marks the lows of the 13th of March and also the low of the 21st of March. So very important area this is. You can see that we did already have a few times a drop below the 200 EMA. Certainly this level here, also the 6,135 level, will be the important one to watch. But if in order to kind of, let's say, consider higher areas again, well, to be honest, we need to find a good potential level here, and one of those areas could be near the 6,170 zone. So basically a nice good push above this one could initially open the door towards the towards this area here, towards this area of potential resistance near the 6,230 area. But if that fails to withhold, then yep, further acceleration to the upside could be possible. But then again, that's in the scenario if we see initially a nice good push away to the upside from the 6,135 level, then of course, like I said, we will target this 6,170. But if that fails to withhold, now this is where it could become a little bit more exciting for the bulls, and we could then see a further acceleration here to the upside, at least towards the 6,230 or 40 areas. So and then if we do reach that area, this zone here, this resistance zone, then yep, we will just examine it again, because if, like I said, if it fails to withhold, then yet further acceleration to the upside could be possible. But for now, this is where the index is. To be honest, this is the area where we're going to still remain somewhat more neutral, because like I said, it is currently, yes, on one hand it is slightly above the 200 EMA, but currently still balancing near this key area of resistance near the 6,135, which previously acted as support. So now it's taking the role of resistance. So we're going to continue observing this one, but if we see another drop here below this area right here near the 6,105 zone, or in a way, if you want for it to be more on the cautious side, you could lower this down towards the 100. So nice beautiful number of 6,100 could be that gateway here. If we see a break of it, could be that gateway towards lower areas like the 6,070 or the 6,036-35 zone, approximately there, which previously you can see that how well this area here acted as a good area of support here back on the around the 14th of February and also around the 10th of February, but also took its role as good resistance on the 5th of February. So that's why, guys, in terms of the downside, keep your eyes on the 6,100 level. So a nice good drop below this could lead towards further decline. So for now, but this is the situation right now on the index. We are more slightly on the neutral side. Don't forget that we are also kind of looking at slightly more bigger picture. We are now trading below this little short-term tentative, of course, downside resistance line. Well, and that's why, guys, also keep an eye on it, because it could play out and could maybe show the direction where the index could be leading, could be going later on in the future. So so keep your eyes on that one. A quick update on the WTI. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but yesterday I was talking about some of these key levels to watch out for. Still those still in play. So basically on the downside, you should keep an eye on this 59.40 area approximately there. A nice good drop below this could lead the commodity further down towards this lower side of this little range that the WTI is currently stuck in. So on the downside, this is the 58.15 level that we're keeping a close eye on, but only if we see a drop below the 59.40. Currently, looking at this point in time right now, the commodities still sitting above the pivot, but currently it's kind of slightly pointing to the downside. Let's see how this is going to play out. This is going to be our little neutral territory. In terms of the upside, well, we need to see a nice good push back above the 60.35 level, and then we will target higher areas like the 61.20 or even higher. But for now, that's the case. Continue observing some of these key levels today, and let's see if this commodity manages to break one of these today, or maybe this is something for tomorrow, or maybe even Friday. So keep your eyes on this one. NZD USD now, the main topic of today, this morning, or should I say this morning at least. Basically, I was talking about this one yesterday, and this is just a quick review here, guys. So we were trading initially here in this neutral territory that I was talking about. So basically, this is what I was saying, that even if we see a drop below this 0.69 level, then yep, the next potential target could be this one here around the 0.6870. But if that fails to withhold, then further declines are possible. And to be honest, look how well the possibility of the RBNZ to cut their rates earlier, how well this played out for the bears here of this pair. And now you can see that it found good support near one of my levels here, near the 0.68, sorry, excuse me, 0.68 level. So approximately there found good support. Of course, we could see maybe a bit of a rebound here to the back to the upside, maybe travel back towards the 0.6830. But if that fails to kind of let's say if the bulls fail to drive the pair back above it, then we might see another leg of selling here, another maybe possible test of the 0.68 zone. But if this fails to withhold, then yep, further declines are possible, and this is when we will aim for the 0.6775 zone approximately there. So previously it acted as a good area of support here back on the 22nd of February, so in the intraday swing low, and also as marked as a high as the 10th of February. So a very good potential area of support here. But again, don't get me wrong, like I said, this is the scenario that we've got in mind right now. We could see maybe a little bit of a comeback here and a bit of a retracement back to the upside. But if it continues to trade below the 0.6830 zone, and also of course together, if it continues to trade below this 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart, then yep, further declines could be possible. Now in terms of the upside, let me just drag this arrow here. In terms of the upside, well, what we're going to look out here for is, of course, if we see a nice good clean push above the 0.6850 level, certainly this would increase the chances for the pair to travel back up here towards the 0.6870, or even actually back towards this level here that we were keeping a close eye on, around the 0.69 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. Very interesting developments here on this pair, and let's see how this is going to play out. GBPNZD, now also a very interesting one here. It also traveled higher. Now I was covering this one in one of my videos last week, and I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this potential here, this rebound area, and you look how well this played out. You can see that, of course, today was also driven by the of course the NZD, the NZD weakness. So it traveled higher, managed to reach its R3 already today and this morning, but now it's kind of retracing a little bit. To be honest, we could see maybe a bit more retracement here, and let me just kind of find a potential area. It could in a way travel towards this area right here near the 192.70. So it could maybe curve up a little bit and then make another move higher. So if this of course continues traveling lower and starts breaking one of these levels, let me just quickly mark that for our future reference. Let me recycle one of these lines here, and if the pair decides to drop below the 192.25 zone, approximately there, now this is where it could become a little bit interesting, more interesting for the bears again, as we could see further declines. We could see a drop lower here, maybe back towards the 190.20 zone or even the psychological 190 level, but of course, like I said, for now, don't forget that we could, like I said, see maybe a bit of retracement here. I'm not saying that exactly this is where it's going to go to 192.70, but somewhere around here could be that good potential area where it could rebound and push higher again. So this is the 192.70, could be this let's say last resort here, and then another, we could see, like I said, another push higher, and if the pair drops below the 192.25, this is where we will become slightly more bearish than bullish again. Also with the GBP and NZD, don't forget we do have the still the ongoing the Brexit talks and votes and all that madness basically. So yep, don't forget about that, because at the same time this pair could get affected by the developments around Brexit. Very quickly, USDCAD, to be honest, not much to talk about here. Just wanted to quickly show you where it's currently sitting at, and basically if we look at this from a bigger picture, of course it continues to trade above its long-term upside support line here, taken from the low of February 2018, and continues to trade above this. Of course it might travel lower here. The only thing is, for us, let's say we're gonna react more to this pair rather than try to predict exactly, like, more, let's say, in the near term where it could travel. For now, let's say in terms of the downside, if we see a drop below the 133.70 level, now this is where it could become exciting for the bears. We could see further slide lower, maybe even actually move back towards the nice beautiful number of 133 here, or even then lower, but of course we'll reevaluate the situation then if we see such a move. But for now, this is what we're looking at here, the 133.70 level. A drop below this could lead towards further declines. And in terms of the upside, well, I mean, from the very short-term perspective for today, for example, what you could look at is at this little high that we saw here back, this little high that we saw yesterday, so around the 134.15 area, approximately there. So a nice push above that could lead the pair towards the 134.45 area, approximately there. And if that fails to withhold, the next potential target, the 134.65. So in a way, long story short, guys, basically this is what we're looking at here for today. A drop below the 133.70 could lead towards further declines here, but a push above the 1.3415 area, this is where it could become exciting for the bulls, and we could see a push back towards the 134.45 area, approximately there, marked near the highs of Monday. But if those fail to withhold, then yep, the next target here is around the highs of the 8th of March near the 134.65 or 70. You could round it up if you wanted, but that's basically the area that we're going to be targeting if we see a push above the 134.15. And the last pair I want to quickly touch on, euro dollar. I was talking about this one yesterday. Basically, I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this potential area of support near the 112.75 area. So we had a nice drop here. Excuse me. We had a nice drop, almost managed to reach this other important area of support. And actually, let me just adjust this level, because to be honest, that's a bit skewed here. So basically 112.50, that's what the pair managed to test already. So of course, this is where we're going to look at here, because if we see another drop below the 112.50 level, if we see a drop below the 112.50, then yep, further declines are possible. We could then see it slide towards the 112.25 or even the 112.15. Now the 112.15 is probably a more important one, because that marks the low of November last year. So very interesting level could be. That's why we're just gonna drag it till here for now, and then if we see a further break here, then yep, we will target the areas around the 112 or even below that. But for now that's the case. So basically continue observing this this level here, the 112.50. A drop below that could lead to further declines. And in terms of the upside, well, if this decides to travel back up here above the 112.75, that's wonderful. But to be honest, for us, we would like to see a nice good pushback above the 112.90 level first, and then we could target slightly higher areas like the 113.30 or even the 113.50. But for now, this is where the pair is. Let's see how this is going to play out, and keep your eyes on these levels that I just mentioned. Okay guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for sticking around and watching it till the end. And if you want to join me later on at my traders tea time, then please join. Please feel free to log in, and that's 14:15 GMT time. But for now, I hope we have a wonderful trading day, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.